if they can evolve as individuals as well. And this tournament is a good chance for them to get their hands on some money and on some prestige as well. Maybe they can pull the upset against Question Mark. I'm always ready for any surprises. And I'm certainly not mad if this goes to a third map, that's for sure. The third map, by the way, if we are speaking of it, would be Mirage. Another map that both teams should feel confident on, but Question Mark is probably slightly better than Vexed on that. At least the pistol round goes the way of the Poles, so they can choose a side, which will probably be the CT side. I hope so, though. Yeah, they managed to qualify in the offline qualifier again, which was held. Where was it? Oh, it was ESL. I don't know where it was. Was it? No, it wasn't Cologne, right? It was somewhere else. Doesn't matter though. Vex is a sturdy team. They have a sturdy lineup, even though they, you know, have that odd player that has to leave the squad here and there. But overall, they are a really good team, and I would hope, or I would like to see them win Train. But I already lined out the odds are quite low for them. Now the Poles with Groovy, Rallen, Vexed, Groovy, Rallen, Furlan, Repo, and Hyper. On the other side, we have TQM, obviously, with Dupree, Zippix, Cajun B, Devi, and Carrigan. Device changed his nickname to Devi. I keep calling him Device because it's just stuck in my brain, but I try to focus on that one for this map. Let's see how this will start in the pistol round on Train, the second map. Cajun B and Carrigan will already get the frags for the CTs. Furlan and company are pushing forward to B, however, and there is a key player here. It is Furlan in Ivy. If he can intercept Dupree, that could be the game or the round-changing frag for the terrorists. Hyper and Groovy coming in from Pop Dog, while Furlan is still patiently waiting on Ivy. He's looking for that kill. Oh, he missed that headshot. How could he miss that? He has another chance and does it, but Cajun B in the meantime picks off Hyper, making it a 2v2 again. The bomb goes down, and coverage is laid out by Furlan. He's just not really lucky with his USP today. Or now he goes to work on Zippix, so 2v1 in favor of the terrorists. Cajun B is in C connector. He made his way out there and tries to single out the terrorists. Two separate 1v1s, and he picks off the first one. Goes for the second frag. Furlan has no cover, but still makes it a quad kill in this pistol round. Really important for the Poles to get it going, you know, to get themselves kick-started, to shout a little bit, even though it's not a LAN. A small cheer in TeamSpeak never killed anyone, and I think that the Poles can do some damage here with that pistol round. That was a really important one. Now Groovy with the opening frag. It is a 5v4 already. Carrigan gets pushed out of his position, has to reset camp somewhere else. Dupree makes it happen with a good flick shot onto Dupree, leveling it back up to that man advantage they had earlier. Zippix with a CC-75 surprise from Pop Dog, killing Groovy and slightly missing that spray onto Rallen, and then obviously running out of bullets and having to retreat. At least he picks up the AK, so the CTs are still in the running for this round. Repo with only the Mac-10. Maybe not the best weapon against the AK and the two scouts. But Hyper putting up the pressure on Carrigan. Zippix goes down to Rallen, and it's once again up to Cajun B in a 1v3 this time. And it's not going to be as close as the pistol. Vexed managed to get the round on the board, make it 2-0, and this round will be way easier to collect for them. They will face off against mostly or almost unarmed targets here. 2 P250s, 3 USPs. and no armor on the Danish squad. Reaper already racing down into the site, collecting a lot of map and map control and space for his teammates to then use and put the pressure up to a Hyper with a good spray onto Kerrigan. And the A-bomb set is surrounded by terrorists. They just need to make their move. I kind of like that they are hesitating at the moment. They don't want to lose too many players. And they managed to get out without losing a single guy. 13, 19 and I think 20 HP on Groovy, Rellen and Hyper. So it was fairly close. Just a few more bullets by the CTs and it could have been a 3v2 in favor of Question Mark. Obviously, Vex played it very cautiously, very patient, and that gave them the chance to save some more money for the upcoming rounds by bringing players to this one. Now Rellen is covering the long approach onto Ivy, while the CTs send Cajun B really close, and he already picked up a frag here. Another crucial exchange coming up on the B bomb site. Hyper will finish off Zipix here. The B bomb site is weakened. The CTs have to react to that, and that weakens the A bomb site in turn. And the A bomb site is going to be under fire by Rellen. He is coming in for the frag. The orb is in place, and Kerrigan is not anymore. A 3v3 now, due to the fact that Vex just had a disconnect on one of their players, leaving it up to Repo, Hyper and Rellen to clutch this round. Question Mark with only one guy on B. Cajun B is, well, he's a little left alone here on the front of the courtyard. But he's got a good angle to cover Hyper. And Dupree makes that frag happen on Ivy. Cajun B with a good spray onto Hyper, leaving Rellen alone. He's one of those guys, he can pick it up. He's got the right weapon to do so. He's got a smoke to plant the bomb and a flash to counter some moves by the CTs. Now he will see the backside of Dupree sticking out. He knows Cajun B must be around somewhere on the bomb train probably. And that's a position that he can not really push with the AWP. So he goes for the B rotation. Catches the CTs off guard. Devi with the rotation a little bit too hasty here. But rather stick together and win the round than splitting each other up and losing it. Rellen missing that first shot and the second not as well. Now he will pick up the kill onto Devi finally and picks up Cajun B too. Quad kill for Rellen and a triple or a 1v3 clutched by Rellen. As I said, he's one of those guys, he can make it. 4-2-0 now in favor of the Polish squad. Looking troublesome for Question Mark. Repo is actually only Repo. You know, people being funny and changing the nicknames. Heat has left the squad, or at least he's unable to play. I'm not really sure on that. So Repo is there. He's a good friend of them all. I mean, they have played, and I already mentioned it. There were a lot of shuffles in the Polish scene, and there still are. You know, Mihu and Mouse and Minis being switched back and forth throughout the two next best teams, or the three next best teams. And they know each other very well. It's not that big of a problem to communicate and to adjust to the playing style of your teammates. Now 5-0 in favor of Vexed, and Team Question Mark goes for the double AWP setup. They are fed up. They want to shut them down. They've got the right set of skills on Kerrigan and Devi, who is Device, but he changed his nick. Kerrigan spots one of the terrorists crossing on Ivy, while Cajun B is making his aggressive move on A main, just like the terrorist should know that already. He's playing close by to A main all the time, and he's picking up the frags there as well. It's not that hard of a position to actually capture if they just make that move together. They could let Cajun B, you know, Just get into his position and flash him and push him together. At least trade equally. Now that they didn't do that, Dupree has a chance to pick off Furlan and Popdog. And the CTs are in firm control of this round so far. Hyper gathering some information on the bomb site, but being picked off by Devi. And Groovy and Repo are left alone. They still have enough time on the clock. So that is kind of the only thing that works for them. They don't have too many nades anymore, and question mark is all over the place. You can see that Vex doesn't want to go for it anymore. They want to save. That's why they get into position to cover each other like a brother from another mother. And the nerves are definitely exposed to some pressure here. As you can see, KGB being tagged by Dupree, even though the two play those positions for a long time together. But yeah, Vex will lose the first round. Question mark is finally on the board, and on the board with a flawless round they are. And that is a huge key factor here. Look at the amount of money they managed to save, and the two orbs would have been so costly. If they lost those orbs, it would have been really bad for them. Zipix on the B bomb site on his own, while the terrorists make their way over there. Still a possibility of the split A push through Popdog and A main. While the CTs are just in their kind of off positions. They don't play the same setup all the time. You can see it yourself. Dupree would have been here and KGB would be there. But they switch it up a little bit. And now Kerrigan picks up the kill onto Repo. Already starting off the round for the CTs. 1 minute on the clock. Groovy and company need to find another way to approach this round. Relin with the cheeky boost here. Well, that didn't work out as planned. Didn't spot anyone very long, so he decides to change his position up. The CT's getting closer to C connector. They are preparing themselves for a go. Be it B or A, they are quick on any bomb site. Now Hyper with a very important frag to open it up, and Relin covers his teammate on the bomb plant. The C4 goes down. The terrorists are pushing through to the back of the site. They know they have to capture it, and Hyper catches Dupree off guard, while Kerrigan picks off Relin. It's a 2v1 in favor of the terrorists, but Furlan received 99 damage, and Hyper is not that healthy either. Kerrigan with the USP, but gets traded by Furlan. With 1 HP, he wins the round for Vexed. And question mark have enough money to force it up and squeeze out something, but it won't be very strong. The Poles with a chance to make it 8-1 by winning this round. And that clutch was very important for Vex to gain some more confidence, you know, to not think that, oh no, now question mark got their first round and they will keep going and they will crush us after all. No, Vex has the confidence and the ability to win this map. Berlin with a double flash over the train. Doesn't blind anyone anymore. Question mark pulling back into very defensive positions. And I still have something. Keep in mind what Vex did on the B attack before, especially Hyper, who pushed all the way through. I want to talk about that later on when I get the chance to. For now, we have to focus on this rifle round, especially as this is a key round for question mark. Dupree with a good headshot. The last few bullets were enough to pick off Furlan and equalize the player count. The Danes are unsure where the real attack is happening though. And that's the thing that works for Vex. Rallen with a good pick-off onto Device while his teammates are on the B rotation. He manages to get the kill on A, and that shifts the CTs around. Ironically, they stay on B, and that could be the right call to make. dupreeh is trying to help out Zippix, who only has a max 7. He has to go big for his teammates. Flashes the terrorist, slows them down a little bit, but Groovy comes through to the ram, picks off one, and the second, no, actually it was Hyper who picks up the first one. KGB is alone. He picks up 2 frags there. What a great stand by him. Rallen with 14 seconds on the clock. He spots KGB, and both of them weren't prepared for it. But Rallen was quicker to pull the trigger and obviously zoom in before that. What a crucial situation going down the wire. KGB just getting those 2 frags was very, very good already. But now it was Rallen again. He is impeccable with the scope. It's just sick to see him play like that. It's so good. Really like him. 10 kills for him. 8 for the rest of the squad. And Repo with only 1 so far. But the same goes for Devi, aka Device. He is on 1, 0, and 7. Zippix on 2 frags only. So you can definitely see that there is a lack of fragging on Team Question Mark. Vex being surprisingly strong here on Train. I didn't expect it to be that decisive, especially in the first few rounds. You can see Question Mark was struggling with their economy for a long time. Then they had those 2 rounds where they had sturdy buy rounds with the double AWP setup. But that's gone now, and the CTs need to save. And that makes Vexed get the chance to make it 8-1. Now, I wanted to talk about that B attack that Vexed was using before. They had 2 players come in from here and 2 players from here. That is no real magic in that one, you know? But the key thing is that back in the day in 1.6, the go-to play was to, after you plant the bomb, use this area to your advantage, you know? Get one into upper to cover the bomb on the train and stuff like that. But now that the trains are positioned a little differently, the CTs actually have a good line. If they run through those lines, the best thing is to retake, obviously, in that kind of manner, because you can look across from that position, and when you're coming from here, you can look across there and there, so you have a very good net of coverage, so to speak. So the way to break that net is if the terrorists rush through and just push all the way back into this area to get the CTs into the weird position of having to face back and forth at the same time. And that was perfectly played by Hyper. Not this time around though, as he goes down to dupreeh. I kind of jinxed him. But he or him running through to the backside of the site was a key play in that important round. Now this round is just as important for Vex to pick up, but obviously it's slightly easier against pistols and no armored CTs. Nip Boys, actually, about the T-sidedness of maps and all that. You can check that out on hltv.org. You can find out how this balance shifted around. I can link you in a second. Let's wait for this round to be over, because it's another rifle round, and it's another round that's going to determine if Question Mark can come back. dupreeh definitely was blind to death. Didn't even know where he was when he was taken out. It's like waking up after New Year's Eve or after your birthday and you don't know what happened. That's how dupreeh must feel right now. The terrorists with that first frag, slowing down quite a lot, just trying to figure out how to use that obvious hole they just punched into the armor of Question Mark. And they don't want to lose that advantage. Repo doing a good job of catching Kerrigan with his leg sticking out of the smoke, and his vision still being blurred by the grey matter. KGB trying to plug 2 holes at once, but his arms are only that big. and in the end he can't plug any of the holes. His teammates go down with him, and Vexed make it 9-1. 12 kills for Rallen, 11 for Groovy. On the other side we have 11 for Cajun B, but the rest of the squad is definitely missing in action for question mark. So we have that save round, so I can talk a little bit more about the balance or the bias of maps. Let's see what that AK can achieve though. Devi desperately trying to carry that to safety. Everyone is hunting him. They are on his toes, and that's dangerous actually for the terrorists. You know, if you try to quickly move somewhere and get that frag back and get the weapon back, you can run into some ambushes. Question mark is preparing one of those ambushes. Kerrigan going for the long peek to cover Device, who is focused on that one. And Dupree just tries to draw fire in case the CTs come his way. The way why, or the reason why Team Question Mark can do that is Cajun B, who has information on main. And as long as Cajun B doesn't spot anyone, the setup is the right one to use. Now he spotted somebody, and the rotation is triggered. The terrorists will make their way through Pop Dog into the A bomb site and leave Question Mark with their pants down. Nobody around except for Kerrigan. That wasn't a circle, but I tried to. Kerrigan has a needle, and that is enough. One bullet sent away to Rallen. Kerrigan takes refuge in Ivy, and that's still possible for the CTs. It's a 3v3, and the CTs have an AK still. Devi, not a designated rifler though, sticking back a little bit, letting his teammates see if there is anything in for it. And now he's the guy to maybe mop up a few frags. There he goes on to Groovy. Furlan and Hyper just stay away. They don't peek. They play it very intelligent. Quite hard for Device to find anyone. In fact, it's impossible for him to spot somebody. And he backs away, saving that AK is not that big of a thing they were, or they would be able to buy up anyway. But thanks to that AK, they might add an additional AWP to their lineup. Oh, well, maybe not so much, but we will see what they do. Device will drop that AK. Go for, yeah, there we go. Double orb for Team Question Mark. Cajun B will not have any nades, but Kerrigan is not using the scope. So once again, as I already mentioned on Overpass, Question Mark don't care about who is the best with the orb. They are all good enough, and they are all on the same level. Maybe some has a better day here or there, but overall, you could argue Team Question Mark is on a fairly good level with the orb. And they changed their setup completely, went for a 3-man stack at the B bomb site, pushing into the hallway and getting the kill. Very important for Question Mark to get some relief here, especially as the pressure is mounting. A 10-1 scoreline on the terrorist side is already out of hand. The Danes need to win every single round there is in this half. And after that, they need to win every single round after that. Basically. If Vex get on track, if Vex win the pistol, I could see the Poles finish off the Danes rather quickly. One of the orbs has been disposed of already, and the terrorists making their way to the B bomb site. Once again, they apply that kind of strategy. They send one player in there, and now they know somebody is hanging out on the bomb train. Great coverage by Devi and Zipix. Together, they will not let any terrorists pick up any more frags. So, a Question Mark with the second round on the board. But that's a small consolation for them. Vex still have enough money for a goodbye. And maybe this is goodbye to the Danes. If they lose this round, Vex can make it 13-2. And by winning the pistol, they can finish this second map off very, very quickly. Dupree with the opening frag will make it look better, but Vex is already inside the A bomb site and they are quite far inside. Dupree is not finishing the job onto Groovy, but KGB takes a chance, rushes through to A main, picks up 2 frags over there. Great play by him. Sometimes you have to take chances, and that's the right moment to do so. The bomb is dropped, and Hyper is disposed of by Cajun as well. Triple kill for him. Question mark is... Can you call that a comeback? I don't know. It is a second round in a row. That's for sure. And Kerrigan is back on the AWP. Devi going for the B pick. Support is Sipix, who flashes in for him. And Device will get that kill. Sipix is helping out in a great deal as well. Picking up 1 from behind, one from below, not from behind. And racking up 3 frags. So the B bomb site push by Vex was more than unsuccessful. It was failing completely. Doesn't matter too much for them, as I already pointed out. The polls are already beyond all the expectations. And question mark has 4 scopes. 1 auto scope and 3 AWPs. Rallen has more than enough targets to shoot down. One of them was Devi. And Rallen going for the push onto B upper, while his teammates are pushing lower. The bomb is about to be planted. Zipix could do something about that with the auto skill, but maybe not the right weapon. It is for him. Ruby goes down. KGB makes Repo hit the floor as well. And Ferlin and Rallen have a huge task at hand. Especially now that it's only Rallen in a 1v4. If he aces this, it's his dream come true, probably. There he is. First one goes down. Still a minute on the clock. Team question mark need to watch out. And they do so for each other. 10-5 in favor of Vexed on the terrorist side. Great stuff by the polls. Surprising me and possibly and probably all of you out there. The only man in Team question mark that didn't want to lose straight away was Cajun B, picking up 16 frags in 15 rounds. Now let's see where this pistol round is going. If Vex pick it up, it could mean a rather quick second map. Not as quick as the first one, but still rather quick. Question mark focus on Ivy for now with 3 players over there. The bomb is with them. They could give away quite a lot of information to the CTs, but they pick up the kill thanks to Cajun. Shooting through that small gap, just pre-firing, and when Repo was running there, he went down without doing anything. So Vex already down the man. And the terrorists are resetting their approach. They try to pick up another frag somewhere or go for the execution. They have the players in the positions already. 1 is coming in from Pop Dog, 3 from Main, and 1 from Ivy. This is going down to Rallen being amazing, and he is amazing, at least he was in the first map already, and now he's showing up as well. Ferlin with a great USP headshot. It's a 4v3 again. The CTs turn it upside down. Rallen having some trouble picking up the kill, but drops the bomb in the corner. Sipix assists Devi, but he goes down to Groovy, and now it's Sipix facing his maker as well. Vex make it 11-5, even though they started with a man down. The Poles managed to keep the A bomb set under cover. Big factor was that shot into A main from Connector by, I believe it was Ferlin. And Rallen's kill over here. Rallen's 2 kills in that area were crucial too. Question mark with the Deagles though, and they are amazingly dangerous with that. They didn't plant the bomb, so no reason for them to save. Dupree's not having a good day though with that, or at least not a good round with that Deagle. He's shooting through the gap but didn't connect to anyone, so sometimes, you know, it's about timing, it's about aim, and a small portion of luck. And Dupree is somebody that needs astonishingly small amounts of luck because he's got such a big amount of skill. But sometimes, you know, that those deagle shots, they just don't come easy to you. In fact, nobody picked up a frag as of yet on the terrorist side. KGB will not do that either. A flawless round for Vex, kicking off their economy. That's 3 players surviving the pistol, already adds up some money. And then 5 players surviving the second round. That's a huge amount of cash that Vexed managed to bring to the rounds. And the first rifle could actually be a double AWP setup already if they win this round. And if they keep 2 Famuses, could be even better for them. Now, I'm kind of having trouble finding the right player here. Kerrigan is just running and gunning with a Glock. Obviously, the chances of anything going the way of question mark were quite low in that round. Verlin picking up the quad kill, just hosing them down. Next up, 13-5 in question mark with the first rifle round. They have 5 AKs, and Rellin has the AWP. A UMP has brought to this round as well with the 2 Famuses. So a lot of cash still in the hands of Vex. And cash is making the world go round. Look at Furlan now. He could be a key player here. In the smoke, goes down to Zipix. Doesn't pick up anything. The B bomb set is compromised, but the bomb is still not there. While KGB picks up Repo and Ivy. The CTs are down 2 men. They need to have somebody step it up a little bit. One of them could be not Rellin this time around, and not Hyper either, but Groovy, who's in Pop Dog. If he has the right timing, he could either backstab the terrorist on the way to B, or keep the A bomb set sealed off a little bit with a frag onto Dupree, who is about to run down there. Groovy getting ready for it with the Famus. And Dupree just waiting and waiting. The call comes in. The terrorist popped the first smoke. Zipix sneaking towards his teammate, getting ready for it. Ruby with a good timing. If there would have been a flash, he wouldn't have been blinded. But Dupree is on point, picks him off straight away. Rellin and Hyper, the last man standing, going for the save already. Something that we didn't see too many times by question mark, because they just simply weren't allowed to save. Vexed could be the team that has... It just looks like they were, or they are, more focused on their economy. Now Devi picking off Hyper there, being caught off guard a little bit. But Rellin used the time to sneak through the terrorist lines. Devi could still pick him up though. No, now Rellin is around the corner, taking refuge on the train as well. Bringing that orb will once again save the CT some money. They will drop weapons for each other, and in the end we have a sturdy buy by Vexed. The third map, by the way, Baboon. The third map would be Mirage. Thanks Helium for helping out, by the way. So question mark with the 5 AK lineup. They are just spread out across the map at the moment, just looking for the entries. They have those... Oh, okay, that wasn't the Devi, but it was KGB picking up the one shot onto Rellin. The CTs are starting off with a rough patch again. It seems like Vexed was a little more prepared for the terrorist side compared to the CT side. They don't really seem to have too many surprises in store as of yet. Vexed leaves the B bomb site open, sends one player over there to get it covered, and the rest is focused on A. while the Danes are lining up that B execution. Furlan has to step it up. He's going to work onto Dupree. Great twitch shot by him. Now he's lining up another one. Goes down onto Sipix as well. A 4v3 now. Furlan is still lining up those lines, looking for the frag, but the terrorists will not expose themselves anymore. They're hiding away, trying to hold on to the bomb that's planted and ticking in favor of them. Kerrigan getting the frag. Double kill, in fact. Goes down to Repo in turn. It's a 1v2. Repo on the ninja defuse, but Devi is not letting it happen. Question marks. Bring the rounds together and get the second in a row. Looking better now for the Danes. The CTs are running out of money and they face the first save. The first map ended 16-3, if I'm not completely mistaken. It was question marks map pick on overpass, and it wasn't closer than you would expect. I mean, if you hear a scoreline like that, we had plenty of 1v1 situations on the first map and plenty of 1v2s as well. Sadly for the Poles, it never ended in their favor. This time around, they had a few clutches ending in their favor, especially with Rallin and the 1v3 on the terrorist side, successfully picking off 4 guys in the round and clutching the 1v3 as well. Now there is Devi shutting down Furlan. Rallin is not doing anything anymore. Saving the P2000 is obviously not worth anything. He doesn't have armor, but he doesn't want to give the terrorists anything to work with. And he is so cheeky! Oh, he gets the kill as well! Oh, Rallin! Oh, what are you doing, man? By the end of this game, I gonna have a Rallin tattoo on my chest or something. I don't know. This guy, I mean, I have watched him so many times, but I don't remember him being that impactful and that awesome. I mean, against Team Question Mark, putting up a performance like that, really cool to see. Now, we have a pause. It was called by Grubby and company, as you can see here. It is tactical. Okay, so they feel the game is slipping away. In my opinion, that's the right scoreline to do so, because, you know, sometimes you just think that, oh, okay, guys, don't worry, it's just 3 rounds in a row. Then if they lose this one, suddenly it's 5 rounds, because they would obviously save after it, and then it's 10-13 already, and then there is not much room for error anymore. So the time to talk over what has happened and what cannot happen anymore is now. Vex need to stop it now. If they don't do it in this round, Question Mark will pick up the pace, they will pick up momentum, possibly even more money. And when the CTs are maybe coming back, you know, let's say Question Mark wins 3 or 4 rounds in a row, and it's 12-13, Vexed would be back on weapons, but it would be a weak buy, and they managed to win it, but it's going down to a 2v1. So there's not much money for Vexed, but Question Mark still has so much money. They are actually having a better buy after losing than Vexed will have after winning. And after that, you know, if the CTs lose that kind of mixed buy, forced buy they have to go with, they would be saving again, and Question Mark could win this game. So it's up to this round. Definitely, this is going to be a key round. And after that, the next weapon round will decide where this is going. Vex is still not out of the thick of things. They have only tiny amounts of money, as you can see yourself. They need to try and bring as many guys to the next round to get some relief. Otherwise, this could be very, very, very bad for them. A great start into the game on the terrorist side. Then a not so great end to the half. And now they are in some trouble too. In the meantime, you can use the time you have to follow me on Twitter. You can also follow Game Show on Twitter. You can find the links in the in-game overlay. It is Game Show CSGO. Would be appreciated a lot, obviously. You guys make the scene go round. You guys make CSGO and you break CSGO. Without you, majors wouldn't have happened. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to host a tournament like that with $200,000 at stake. Yeah, you have to imagine that number, you know. When numbers like that get released, I always think, oh, well, 200,000, that's not that much, you know. We have millions in other games. We have 250,000 in a major. We have 500,000 by ESL Pro League. And millions by the Turner League now. But $200,000. Most of you, and I'm not excluding myself here, will never have that amount of money. I certainly hope that you will, and I hope that I will too. But the likelihood of that happening is really, really slim. And now imagine $200,000, somebody investing that kind of money in the game. That's just possible because you guys are watching day in and day out. And I'm so grateful for that. I really want to thank you, every single one of you tuning in. And I hope you will let your friends know there's a guy that loves you just because you watch CS. Ferlin alone on the B-bomb site now. In this crucial round, he knows the pressure is up. But Question Mark knows that they need to win this round too. They know how close to losing they are. And they are doing their very best to prevent that from happening. Kerrigan smoking into the A-bomb site. His teammates are already very deep inside Ivy. The CTs have 4 players there. On the A-bomb site, obviously, but not too much smoke to work with. Dupree with the first frag onto Groovy. Oh, that was definitely the changing frags now. KGB, Sipix, and Devi get the kills, and Ferlin can't do anything about it anymore. 5 weapons will be brought to the next round if Ferlin doesn't pick anyone up anymore. And Vexed will have that kind of weird situation that I talked about before, where they have to save. No, actually they have the loser bonus, so they have 2.5k on Relin. Well, let's see what their plan is. When I talked about the $200,000, I meant in a pile of money, you know, just lying in front of you. Just like in Breaking Bad, for example, when he's stacking the stacks of money. That's what I meant when I talked about you will probably not have that kind of money. If you purchase a house, it's not like you go up to the guy and hand him a suitcase with $200,000. It's mostly financed with a credit. That's just why are we talking about that now? Why am I talking about it? Sorry for that, guys. Vex will pick up the first frag thanks to Rallen's orb. Once again, he's the guy with all the pressure. The terrorists made their way into the B-bomb site, and Rallen is there, unzooming in the most unfortunate moment in time. Tagging! No, not tagging, but KGB and Civic will tag the CTs down to death. It is Question Mark on the verge of making it 10-13. Here they come. The comeback is on. The Danes are fed up with all the running about by Vexed, with all the shenanigans. They want to end this game. They want to win it. And a big factor for them is Cajun B, who's still performing like he did in the first half. He's sitting at 23 kills now. Orb for Devi and double orb for Vexed. One of them is Ferlin, who picked up the kill on the B bomb site. Rallen is shutting down A, and the terrorists will pick up another one. Ferlin on the B bomb site onto Sipix. That's definitely the start the CTs needed in this game breaking or game making round. They can bring up the money real quick, you can see it would be another save for Vexed if they can't get it done. Or maybe a forced buy, considering the loser bonus, and maybe they could save a weapon or two. But it wouldn't be strong, that's for sure. Now Cajun B opening up the A-bomb site from Ivy. Kerrigan takes point now. He's encircling the bomb site. And they need to intercept that rotator. That is Ferlin, who picks up his third frag of the round. Relin with his own scope. And Groovy finishing Devi up. It is 14-10. We could see a third map here. Ladies and gentlemen, Vex is on track to Mirage. They have set sights on the third map already. And they just need to win 2 more rounds to make it happen. The double AWP setup seems to be the change they needed to get back on track here on Train. It is their map pick, so they have a few ideas, and they have Ferlin who is stepping it up just like Rallen did on Overpass. Ferlin is now the one to change those rounds. Again, it's a 4v5 really early in the round, and that is definitely crippling Question Mark's plans. There is not much room for error anymore. Rallen will pick up Kerrigan in a main, making it a 3v5. This looks very, very bad for the terrorists. Devi has it all, gets the revenge frag onto Rallen, stays alive. How did he stay alive there? Dupree comes through the smoke, saving his teammates back. The double D is back on track, 3v3 now. The terrorists inching forward into A. They're slowing down a little bit, while the CTs are on the rotation. They're getting ready for the retake. The bomb plant can't be avoided anymore. So Question Mark get the money and possibly could get the round 2. Hyper killing Dupree here, but Cajun B and Devi in good positions, covering each other. Oh, that small inch of mouse movement was too much. Hyper picks off Cajun B. They know where Devi is. They know they could potentially defuse the bomb if they just would start it. There we go. Ferlin covers his teammate with 5 frags in 2 rounds. Ferlin is the man to get Vexed back in the road, back on road, back in the driving seat. And the terrorists are forcing it up, obviously. No room for error, no room for saving anymore anyway. And the bomb plant helped them to get all the nades. So it's not really a force, but you know, they are forced to purchase everything they can. Vex has 5 map points. We would move to Mirage if they manage to take it home. And the Poles will be the first ones to look in the barrel of Kerrigan. Suddenly it's Ferlin and Rallen once again ringing off with their scopes. It's a 3v3. The bomb has been planted. Rallen getting the shot onto Dupree. Cajun B and Devi, once again, they find themselves in a 3v2. This time around, they have a better situation that they find themselves in. And the CETs don't know where they are. That's the bigger thing. Cajun B with the frag. Devi covers him as well, and Rallen is alone. He's got 2 frags already. But the bomb is ticking a little bit too fast already. He won't have time to kill both of the terrorists. And Question Mark survive the first map point by Vex. They will try to intercept Rallen on his way out. But he stays put and doesn't risk his scope anymore. Vex, after losing 2 rounds, after winning 2 rounds, they lose 1. And that is not a good sign for their economy. As you can see yourself, the only one with armor, except for Rallen, is Repo. And he's got a 5.7. So not necessarily the best weapon. It's one of the better pistols, of course. But he could have, if he wished for something else, he would have probably dreamed of a rifle. Rallen gets caught off guard as well, just running around in Ivy. That was kind of weird. Giving up that orb is definitely not in the playbook for Vexed. But Question Mark is happy to have that round thanks to Zippix and Kerrigan. And Zippix is the man that I want to point out on Train. And on Overpass, he was performing very well already. He didn't have the best start in the game. He was sitting at, I believe he was the guy to sit at 2 frags in the first half. We can check that real quick. Yeah, he was sitting at 5 frags for a long time in the first half. And when he picked it up, Team Question Mark started picking up rounds as well. So he is quite important to them, even though he's not that big of a star. If you ask the community, they always point out Devi and Dupree. But Zippix is the guy that is hidden in the shadows, but he's doing the big work as well. Now Vexed with the buy again. They have a Famous and no Famous for Groovy and no armor for Rellin, but they managed to squeeze out an auto scope for Hyper. He's on the B bomb side together with his teammate, so he's got support around. Vex going for more or less a default setup. Not too much is risked by the poles. Question Mark has a lot of control already. They are so close to the A bomb site on Ivy, and they're getting ready for that execution. Ferlin will be key. He's in the dark spot. He can look over the smoke. If he's got the right position, he could spot the terrorist and surprise him a little bit. Dupree is not being surprised by Repo, but Ferlin will get that one frag that I pointed out. It is a 4v4, and the CTs do some damage to the terrorist. Good job by them, but Dupree is fed up with everything. Triple kill for him already. Groovy and Rallin are up against 4 Ts. And that's not looking good for them. Vex might lose another map point. And Question Mark is making them struggle and sweat and possibly worry about this outcome. So Rellin will be picked off, and Groovy hiding away in the least, well, it is kind of expected now that the terrorists have spotted everything here. But in the corner far away, the Empire strikes back. Question Mark is striking back at the moment, and Vexed with a save. Question Mark will make it, or might make it, 14-15. I don't want to jinx it at this point, that's for sure. 27 now for Cajun B, putting up big numbers, carrying his squad and keeping them in the running. They don't slow down. That's kind of risky in my opinion. Sometimes the CTs, if they have a stack, it could go south, but no stack in place by Vex. So Question Mark did make the right decision to go for the full push into the A bomb site. Rellin on his own with a P250. His dear friend is not helping him out. Question Mark makes it 14-15, and now let's see where this is going. This is the possibly last round. Well, no, it can't be the last round of this match, because if Question Mark win this, we will see an overtime. If Rellin and company win it, we would have a third map to watch. So let's hope for a third map, but let's hope for an overtime as well. At least that's my hopes. I don't want to seem biased, but I'm always looking for third maps and overtimes. That's kind of my fetish. I hope you share my fetish, because those are the tense games. Those are the games that make epic moments happen. And they are also the games that make players shine. In those big moments, big players will go huge. Vex already have one player on the board. It is again Rallin with the orb. Question Mark decides to go for some more Ivy play, but this time around they have Repo to face off against. And if we compare that to the previous rounds, where Question Mark had deep Ivy control, Vex is trying to plug that hole. It's not going to happen though. Cajun B with a straight frag. Now it's Ivy control back in the favor of Question Mark. They are getting ready for the execution, and the CTs have only 2 players inside. One of them is already killed by Zippix. It's a 4v3. Vex with a full rotation, but they are still smoked off. Their Joker player is still inside, and it's going to be Hyper who is picked up by Devi. 2v4. Rallin and Ferlin have to take it home if they want to win this map. Or, well, they could still win this map in overtime, but Devi has other plans. He wants to shut Vex down and make it 15-15. Rallen is lurking around on the A-bomb side. He knows where the terrorists are, but he can't see them yet. Question Mark is playing it perfectly. They don't allow him to spot anyone. Now he does, but he misses that one shot he had on Carrigan. Question Mark will take it to overtime. And I'm really curious to see if Vex can put that lengthy struggle behind them and, you know, just say, guys, we are sorry for ourselves, but, you know, it's an overtime. We have to start over. We had such a good start in this game with so many rounds on the terrorist side. You can see it yourself. Even though the graphs are mixed up, it's actually, yeah, that is vexed, even though they are yellow. Don't ask me. Tell Valve to change the colors on the graphs according to logic. But who cares about that? We care about the overtime, and Devi has a good angle. Let's see who's going to be more patient. Ferlin gets the frag onto Zipix. It wasn't Devi who peeked him. I expected Devi to go for the refrag at least. Nabano, oh, great reaction onto Hyper. 4v4. Everyone is now on the overdrive shift. Devi still working on the B bombster while his teammates are focused on A. Groovy is here with the very important frag on Pop Dog onto Dupree, who was trying to open up A little bit. Now Vexed back in control, but their players are quite wounded already. Easy work for the AKs, and the terrorists still have some HE grenades, or well, one HE grenade and 2 Molotovs. 3 now that they picked up an additional one. See if they can hold on to that. Repo goes down to Cajun B. Repo is really missing at the moment. He's missing too many frags, and it could have been game-changing if he had picked up a few more of those. Rallen and Ferlin, the 2 scopes working together on the retake. Question Mark has the Devi and Carrigan. Carrigan will find Rallen, disposes of him. Rallen needs to watch Ferlin try to clutch it, and Ferlin is another guy that could make this happen, but the bomb is taken a little bit too fast for Comfort. Still gets hatchet onto Carrigan, makes it a little more expensive, even though money is not playing a big role in the overtime. At least he gets that kill with a pistol onto Carrigan, which might be instigating. The Danes with a 16-15 lead. Ironically, Carrigan is on top of Cajun B, even though he's got 11 frags less compared to his teammate. And Reaper on 6 in 31 rounds. A little rusty, I have to admit, but he's well known throughout Poland, and Vex know him very well. Otherwise, they wouldn't have called him up for this matchup. Now, question mark with their own double AWP setup. Cajun is covering the back line while Devi is going for the aggressive play. Not necessarily overly aggressive, but you know, it's trying to attack something somewhere. The bomb is still dropped behind, so no real decision made by question mark as of yet. They just want to find an opening frag, which goes the way of the CTs. Ferlin onto Ivy. And the terrorists have one more player over there. Dupree manages to pick up the AWP, but decides to drop it again and go for the AK. Seems like he's more confident with the rifle. Reaper is going to be a key player here. The B-bomb set is going to be attacked by the Danes, and he is the first line of defense. Vex have to trust him to at least get one frag and then make the right call. His support player will be Rallen, and he is supporting him very well. Repo is there with the first and the second as well. He's living up to the situation he was put into. Dupree is the last man here for the terrorists. 30 seconds on the clock. and Hyper is not letting him escape anymore. Vexed draw it again and make it 16-16. What a thriller of a game in the game show Global Esports Cup. Ferlin and Relin still equipped with the double AWP setup. And Groovy is the one to pick up the first frag. Dupree with the answer straight away, and Kerrigan runs into Hyper. Body check to the face with an AK in the hand. That's deadly for sure. But Relin gets revenge. And the CTs are back in a 3v3. The bomb is taken in favor of the terrorists though, and Cajun B is having enough of it. Who wants to finish this match sometime soon. Ferlin denies that to him. He has to watch Dupree and Devi make it go down in favor of question mark, or maybe not. Devi is being tagged already while Dupree is still sneaking in C connector. Devi is just drawing away the attention. Great team play by the two Danes. 17-16. That's the experience being shown by Dupree and Devi. He changed his nick just recently, and it's my first game shoutcasting him, so my brain still has that connection. If Device has a different name, it's Device, no matter how he's called. But he's actually called Devi. He released a tweet about that. Wants to be called that nick now. Question mark just needs 2 more rounds to win this matchup. It is the second map. They managed to win the first one 16-3 on Overpass. And Vexed is struggling a little bit. But their terrorist side was very strong in the regular playing time. So I'm curious to see what they can do with some more money at their disposal. Not too much as of yet. 3v2 now. Hyper in a firefight. Doesn't get the frag, but he's not going down either. It's still 1 minute 10 on the clock, and the bomb is on the way to B. Now, Hyper is obviously still spotted, so the CTs will not rotate until they know that the bomb is at the other side. And that's the timing that Hyper has to have. When the CTs go for the rotation, he needs to be the guy to keep them at A as long as possible, so Relin can go for a few 1v1 situations and get the kills. There it is, Dupree on the headshot onto Hyper. 1v3. Relin is now planted the bomb, or has planted the bomb, and tries to defend it from the bomb site. So that's an unlikely position, but he puts all of his hopes onto that one card, and he already played it. It's not been an ace. It's more or less a 2 that he had in his hands. And now the CTs will peek him together. No chance for Relin. It's going to be 18-16. Question mark with a very good comeback in the regular playing time already. They were down 10-5, and then they were down 15-10. So that was a huge struggle for them. Vex seems to be a little bit angry about them not being able to close out the second map. And question mark on the other side should be happy they managed to draw it back, and now they have 2 match points. Not only map points, but also match points. Devi will take point on the B bomb side. Good time flash. Doesn't know if somebody crossed or not. Relin on the other side of the map will pick off Cajun B, and Groovy with a good and much needed trade frag onto Kerrigan. The autoscope is taken out of the round, and Vexed have an opening generated on the A bomb side, weakening it quite a bit. That forces Devi to go for a rotation, or at least to get into a position where he can rotate quickly. Vexed kinda guessed that already, and they slowly but surely send 2 players over there. Relin will join them, as well as Groovy. Now it depends on what the terrorists see and won't see on the B bomb side, and they won't see any CTs. Re-rotation again. Sipix is the guy to get back onto the B bomb site. He will see one of them. It's Ferlin, who's tagged down to 43, but Hyper has him covered. And it's up to Dupree and Devi to win the game for question mark. But Vex is in a very good position. Dupree backstabs Groovy. The bomb is still not planted, but they will pick off Devi on the side, leaving Dupree alone. And he will save the autoscope, or at least hides it. I think he will pick it up later on when the time is getting close to the end of the round. Well, yeah, okay. Dupree, do whatever you want as long as you save that gun for your teammates. Doesn't matter how you do it. The most important thing is that you do it. 18-17 after the bomb explodes. Rallen and company are getting back into the game after they were in control for the majority of the time. Definitely not how they imagined this to happen. Now the Danes with the last chance to win this game right now. If they won't, we will see a second overtime. And if you wonder why we have so many buy rounds and how Furlan, how in the world did he end up with 10k? It is MR3 16k. So the teams have all the money they want to have. And you could argue that it's cool. You could argue that it's not so cool. The decision has been made by the tournament organizers. And yeah, we can talk about that later on. Let's focus on this round. We have 2 orbs and an autoscope. Cajun, Devi and Carrigan, the guys with the long-range weapons. Vex is taking their time setting up their strategy. Devi with the first kill in the B hallways. A very important one because the Poles were getting ready for some faking. Now that Hyper was taken out there, that fake is not possible anymore. They need to go into the A bomb site barefooted and barehanded. Well, not exactly barehanded because they have weapons, but you know what I mean when I say that. Question mark is picking up another frag thanks to Cajun B going to work. And Devi still has eyes on a main. He's got a teammate close by as well, while Cajun B is getting frag after frag. It is a 1v5 in favor of Question mark, who are about to win this best of 3 series 2-0, despite the fact Vexed had 5 map points on train. The Danes are looking like they could win their second game of the year. Not as decisive as the first one, but almost as decisive. Devi will be the one to put the final nail in the coffin.